Good morning, students. Let's continue with the next topic. That's about the sex-linked inheritance. The word as a sex chromosomes are concerned in determining sex and carry sex genes. So here, determining sex in the sense it may be XX or XY, which gives the individuality for a individual, and they carry sex genes also. But these chromosomes carry genes other than sex determiners. Here the sex chromosomes means, as I told, that it gives the individuality and also gives about the representation of the secondary sexual characters. But here whether it is XX or with the XY, the genes which is been present here, it is going to carry certain genes other than the sex determiners. That means certain body characters are concerned here. Certain body characters are concerned which is not concerned with sex. Such body characters whose genes are located on sex chromosomes, that is either on X or on Y chromosomes, are inherited. That is 50% of the character, the genes are being inherited from mother and 50% from the father. That is 50% from X and 50% from Y. So depending on that, it is going to give the individuality whether it is XX, that is female, or whether it is XY, the male. And these sex chromosomes are inherited and are called as sex-linked traits. So these are the body characters, means those are the traits, the characters which is been inherited apart from the sex. And the genes are called as sex-linked genes. Their mode of transmission is called as sex-linked inheritance. Types of sex-linked genes. There are two types, basically X-linked genes or X-linked inheritance and Y-linked genes or Y-linked inheritance. X-linked genes. The genes located on X chromosomes are called as X-linked genes, and the inherited characters are called as X-linked inheritance. What all the characters, the body characters or the genes present on X chromosomes, that will be inherited to the offsprings also. Such genes do not carry Y chromosomes. Y-linked genes, also called as Hollandric genes. Holo refers for complete, holo. Androids refers for the males. So completely it is been present in males, and Y is the only one gene which is been present. So that is been called as Hollandric genes. Genes located on Y chromosomes are called as Y-linked, and the inherited characters from these are called as Y-linked inheritance. So now under the X-linked inheritance, we are taking here three examples. One, it is with the eye color of the Drosophila. The other one is the color blindness, and another one is hemophilia. Under Y-linked inheritance, we are going to study with the example of the hypertrichosis in man. That we are going to see the later. First, we will take up about the Drosophila eye color. Drosophila eye color. So, T.H. Morgan, Thomas Hunt Morgan in 1910 discovered sex-linked inheritance in the Drosophila eye. That is the red color and the white color in the Drosophila. Drosophila, the scientific name is Drosophila melanogaster, and the common name is called as fruit fly. And the eye color is located on X chromosomes, so it is called as X-linked inheritance. Or we are studying under the example of X-linked inheritance. Morgan's most of these studies are concerned on Drosophila itself. Why Morgan selected Drosophila? Because Drosophilas are easy to cultivate in the lab. So as we told that it is a fruit fly, the ripe fruit is the best taken as a culture medium for the culturing of or the developing of these flies in the lab. So easy to cultivate in the lab. It has a very short lifespan, that's about 2 weeks. Then they have the presence of only 4 pairs of chromosomes, in which 3 pairs are going to be called as autosomes and 1 pair is called as allosome. For example, if you take about humans, there are 46 chromosomes, in which 44 you are going to call it as autosomes. The number is too many for studying. And there are 1 pair, which is the third of 2, which is called as allosome. The same here, instead of that, when you come towards Drosophila, the easy discrimination, only just 4 pairs. Then coming towards the another characteristic features is after fertilization, it is going to produce large number of progeny, so that for the study or for the development in the lab, you are going to get more number of progenies. So every 2 weeks you are going to get n number of progenies, means for the cultivation or for the study it will be very easy. And as in case of humans, even the sex chromosomes representation is XX in case of female, which is going to represent female, and XY it is going to represent in case of males. So these are the characters why Morgan selected Drosophila itself for his studies. Now coming towards the Drosophila, what the colorations or why it is so important as such. In case of the Drosophila melanogaster, the dominant eye color is red. The dominant eye color is red and the recessive white color is white. So that is called as white-eyed organism. And coming towards another important character, white eye means it has been considered as a mutated one. The mutated organism. So as a mutation, the white color is been represented, and that is developed, and that is been considered as a recessive character. So coming now here, so when a cross is made with white-eyed male, so usually, as I told, the mutated white eye, it was found in male Drosophila rather than female. So when a cross is made with a white-eyed male and a red-eyed female, in F1 generation, both male and female shows red eye. As a parent, we are taking white eye male and the red eye female, and usually, as I told, XY. So male and male means XY. So we are representing here. And white eye, it is a recessive one. So we are writing it as small letter W. And with a red eye, it is dominant. So we are writing here with a capital letter W. And this is being considered as XX for female. And this we are going to consider as XY. So this is the Y shape which has been represented. So in F1 generation, taking the Punnett square, we are going to plot here. So during the plot, we can observe that when you are going to cross these two, we are getting with the 2X with one heterozygous condition with one capital W and one small letter W. When we cross these two, we are getting here one X and one Y. That is male. And here this is female. Again, we are going to get the female, capital W, small w, and that is with a heterozygous female, and the another cross you are going to get with dominant male. So what the color you can observe here, W is being dominant because there is a capital letter W. And here again in males also W, capital letter W is present, so it is also red, representing red eye. Again the capital W, so red eye, and this is also red eye. So what the combination you can observe here, in F1 generation we have got with all red eye, but giving a clause, there are 2 females with the red eye and 2 male with red eye. When continue now by taking the F1 flies, when you're going to continue, when these F1 flies were mated, they produce red and white eye in the ratio 3:1. In F1 we had got only red eye, but when we continue for the F2 generation, we are going to get back with the red eye and also with the white eye. Taking the parent red-eyed male with red-eyed female. So this was the results what we had got in F1 generation. The same F1 generation we are taking here, the red-eyed male and the red-eyed female. When you are going to give in a Punnett square and you are going to cross that, you are going to get red eye with a ratio of 3:3 and white eye with a ratio of 1. So you can observe here the dominant character with XX is there, dominant W with XY, dominant W with XX. So these three you are going to call it as red eye condition, and this is being called as white eye and white eye, and it is in the male, and that is being considered in the 3:1 ratio. So here also you can observe there are 2 males, 2 females, but this is a phenotypic ratio what we are going to sell. But when you come towards the male and the female, there are 2 females which is going to represent red eye, and there is 2 male which is going to represent 1 red eye and 1 white eye. So the result what you can tell here is in F1 females, they are called as carriers. And the word here carriers represent they are going to carry the mutated gene to the next generation, but they are not affected with mutation. You can see the result here again. In F1 we are getting only red eye. There is no white eye at all. But there are the certain mutated genes which is going to carry the white eye, but it is being called as carriers. They are going to just carry the mutated gene to the next generation. It also explains about the crisscross inheritance or the skip generation. So what you mean by the word here as crisscross? Suppose you are going to take this one as the first generation, this one as the second generation, and this one as the third generation. You can observe here the mutated, that is the white eye was present in the first generation, and the same white eye is being present in the third generation, and that is called as crisscross. Because in the second generation we can just observe it is with the female, and that is being called as a carrier. She is being just carrying or passing on the gene towards the next generation, and that is not considering with any mutated structure. So it is called as crisscross, or in other words you can also call it as skip generation, because there is a skip of second generation. It has been transferred from the first generation towards the third generation by the skip of second generation. Because second generation females are only the carriers. It is not been affected with any mutated forms. So this has been called why it is considered with the X-linked inheritance. Majoritively, the X-linked inheritance are the one which is going to show the presence of the crisscross inheritance or the skip generation. Thank you.